We're keeping things low-key as I turn slang into monsters here on My Sketchy Habit. Hello, welcome to My Sketchy Habit. My name's Patrick, I'm an artist, and this is, of course, My Sketchy Habit, the place where we can be art positive. What do I say? Where we draw every day and we don't have to be ashamed. I apparently am just out of sorts. Speaking of being out of sorts, we have an art gallery where I love to share your art. All you gotta do is join the Discord and join the Doodle Crudo, show us what you can doodle do, and we will happily put your art here on the screen. For now, I do have my picture from yesterday's inspiration. We have an inspiration for every single day of the week, every single day of the month, and we're doing costume season, and the word was life yesterday, so I figured life finds a way, and we made this lovely dude in a monster costume. Dinosaur costume, and it makes me super happy. I would love to see your art. We're art positive. We believe in the value of making things and the good things that come along the way, and so we would love to share that with you. Join our art positive community, join the Doodle Crudo, and show us what you can doodle. For now, it's time for us to get to drawing today's monster, and we're using the word low-key. That's right, low-key, and it's a good one. I can't wait to show you. Let's get to the art. Now, low-key is an interesting word. Obviously, it has something to do with being relaxed. And in our situation, I thought low-key would sort of imply this sneaky, sort of hidden figure. And so I started with this idea of drawing in the eyes, sort of obfuscated by shadow. That's what we're drawing here. We're going to make a sort of detective-esque looking figure, a like cloaked, trench coat figure, and we really want to get these eyes down. You can see I'm working on erasing and putting them back in, just trying to test out a few ideas. I think we decided to go maybe with a mono eye because I thought that would be cool, but in the end I think it doesn't necessarily last as just one eye. Oh, maybe it does. We'll see. Here you can see I'm starting to build up the trench coat of this sort of shadowy figure, the kind of figure you would see in like a movie when they're like trying to get the reporter in and they don't want to be seen. You can see we suddenly made a turn there when we changed the eyes. They're suddenly cute and interesting. They're not horrors anymore, and that might be confusing, but I had an idea as I started working on this, and as I was chatting with chat about it that day, I realized it would be fun to do something like, I think it's the lamprey. What is it called? That like lives deep under the ocean and has like a light above it to attract creatures to it, but then it turns out to actually be, there to devour them. And so I thought, wouldn't it be fun for our low-key monster if they had this sort of like humanoid puppet on the front of them as a way of expressing safety and goodness, and then they become this horrific monster in the shadows. It's got like Snuffleupagus vibes from Sesame Street. I don't know if that's something that we're all familiar with, but it's got that kind of vibe in its form, but it's actually going to be quite monstrous. You can see we're doing giant massive teeth because of course the creature that lures people towards it is going to have a giant mouth to eat them, and it brings a lot to the character. And then I thought, what would the rest of this creature look like? It's not super crucial, right? He's got a big mouth, he's got a puppet luring technique, and then he's pretty simple otherwise. And so you can see here we're just getting in like eyes, or eye in this case, and just going to give them like a very squirt body with sort of tentacle legs. And so it sort of skitters along the ground, luring people in so he can ultimately devour them. I also thought that'd be fun juxtaposition to make. It's game time, the part of the show where we play a little game, and we're playing Guess the Image this week. That's right, I've got an image that I'm going to draw here, and it's up to you to guess it as fast as you can. Let me know how fast you get it in the comments down below. Let's get to the drawing. Good luck. to get started here on the line art. We have the fantastic form of our creature, and now it's just a matter of building out some of the shadows and tones that make this a lot more creepy. So you can see we're just sort of narrowing some things, making them a little bit less consistent, and creating these extra shadow lines with some hashing and some detailing. I thought it'd be fun as I started working on this character to make the top part of this creature furry, and then it separates from the fur into these tentacle limbs at the bottom, which I think is kind of gross, right? You don't often see tentacles and fur on the same being. Like, it's not gross, it's just off-putting. Like, it's just not natural in a way that matches our world. It's like parts of our world have been matched together, but then the wrong parts are also being put together, which I think makes a fun monster design. It is still sort of cute in its essence, this one. There are cute elements to it. We're going to use shadows and light to try to make it a little bit creepier, but still, it's a little bit cute. Can't help it. It's in my veins. You can see here we're drawing in these tentacles. You can see sort of the line between fur and limb, and yeah, it's really gross. What's your favorite monster in like the world? I'm a big fan of the alien from Aliens, the xenomorph as it's often called. I haven't seen the new Alien movie, but I'm sure it's fantastically scary. I'll watch it when it comes out, I suppose. I also am a pretty big fan of like the Universal monsters, so like Dracula. Love a good vampire story. Midnight Mass on Netflix is one of my favorite horror things, largely because it's scary in its truth, even more than its fantasy. That about like religious zeal and things like that. Very fascinating. You can see here we're starting to build in our teeth. We are gonna muck them up a bit, add some goop and glob just to make the mouth a little bit grosser. It's very clean as it stands. It's very smooth lines and rough texture being put in here, but it's a little bit too perfect for my liking, and so we're gonna add a little bit more to that just to make it a little bit funkier. I hope we'll do that in a second, but we'll see. We're just working on thickening this line by creating more and more texture. This is all part of the process of saying, the mouth feels a little bit too perfect. There we go. We're starting to add in some of the goop now. Just building in this sort of drippy, messy thing. No real rhyme or reason to it, except just to say that it's there and in random places. Doesn't have to be particular or perfect in any form. It's just sort of meant to evoke this. It's got extra messiness in its mouth. And yeah, we're thickening up some of these lines a bit more for the fur, just to get where we want to get it to. And to make sure it evokes the sort of vibe we want. I think all that remains for us to do really is to get in there and do our lamp part of our lamprey monster of the wonderful and fantastic Lowkey creature. And so yeah, I decided to not put the hands in the pockets, but make them even more puppety and just have them as like floaty limbs that are coming out the sides. I find that very funny. We'll get this hat in here, and I think we'll be ready to move to color. It's time for the dad joke, bad joke. That's right, my dad sends me a joke every single day in WhatsApp, and I collect them all up so I can share them with you. And today we've got a wonderful joke, and it's a dad joke in the truest sense because it's about a dad. Where do I keep all of my dad jokes? Where do I keep all my dad jokes? In a database. In a database. That's right, where do I keep all my dad jokes? In a database. The dad joke, bad joke. Let's get back to the art. Alright, and it's time to color this beast. I started dropping in colors, and of course, the main form of our being, we're going to make this purple color, but of course it's not perfectly full, so you got to do some more manual coloring just to get it down and right. You can see here we're just dropping in pink and purple just to make this fantastically bright and colorful. We're gonna put it in deep shadow because I feel like it's important to have the thing out front, which is luring people in, and then the shadow being harder to see. I also tried not to go too firm in my coloring. I find that sometimes evokes even more chaos. So yeah, we're gonna start drawing in some shadow lines here. We're working in layers, so we're gonna thin that layer out and we'll be ready to show you the final reveal. And that's going to be it for our Lowkey monster today. I really love this like duality of monster here. The lamprey? I don't remember what it's called. I'm sure I mentioned it elsewhere in this video. But anyways, I think it's super cool and super fun. And I really like how it turned out. Let's add it to the monster scene with our other monster from yesterday, the wonderful Slay. We've got 3 more terms for you this week and 3 more monsters to draw, and they're very good. I cannot wait to share them with you. For now, don't forget we have an art gallery where we love to share your art. All you have to do is join the Discord down below, join the Doodle Creedle, show us what you can doodle do, and we will share it here. I cannot wait to see it. Don't forget we also have a list of inspirations for every day of the month, and today our word is Rob. That's right, costume season, Rob. Whatever that means to you, I would love to see it. So share that in the Discord. For now, we've arrived at the end of our video, and all that remains is for me to remind you the one rule of my sketchy habit, which is really our sketchy habit, which is this: don't tell anyone about our sketchy habit. That's between you and me. All right, friends, thanks for being here. Till next time, keep being awesome. Bye!